You're listening to The J with your host, Kennedy.
Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to episode 250, and I'm your host Kennedy. This is the E3 2011 report. So myself and Bangs went to E3, held in Los Angeles, and it was a pretty interesting experience of going there. As part of the press. My feelings of the event was that it's crowded, but nothing like Anime Expo crowded. That is extremely crowded. But E3 was still crowded. There's a few things that we've learned. One, book your hotel way in advance. We booked somewhere not too far from the center, but we somewhere more towards downtown Los Angeles, quite a bit away. You can't just walk there. Would be nice if you could just get a hotel that walks, but these hotels are, pretty much reserved way in advance. And I think if anything, we waited maybe a little way too long. We should have done it maybe 6 months or more instead of 3 months. But also the experience was little different because you have many video game companies reaching out to you for coverage, but one of the difficulties, we were approaching this as in 2 or 3 ways actually. One for YouTube, one for the radio, the podcast, and then 3 as article based. And a lot of the things that you cover at E3 is embargo related, so you cannot post anything. Nor, there's some challenges in terms of video and coverage and so forth, or because everything is meant to be article based, which is understandable. But I think one of the difficulties is that in our mind, we wanted to cover companies that we wanted to cover. That is, games that tend to be associated with Japanese culture, pop culture, or Japanese video gaming in general. So Atlas was our main focus, as well as Square Enix, Nintendo, and so forth. Nintendo, everything was fine. We were able to test and get to see the prototype for the Wii U. We also were able to get into a lot of the we got a lot of game coverage, let's just say, but it's a lot of the game coverage is typically of companies, the ones that reach out to you, and this is something you kind of have to require in terms of your press pass of getting a lot of coverage, is covering a lot of companies that you may not be interested in. And you just really, you can't just pick and choose unless you're like a super media company and a television company or so. But I think that's one thing that I've learned about E3. We got, don't get me wrong, we covered a lot of companies. It's just that it was a different feel compared to other entertainment media related events that we've been to. So yeah, one is the embargo, where you cannot even say anything for like 3 months or so until the game is released and you get the go ahead. The second part is that there are some games that came out, you're just like, this is more something you could tell already. It's just instantly is that you understand why it's being released, but at the same time, in your heart that this is something that is probably going to be on sale very soon, and it's targeting for families who can't spend that much. And those are the things that I'm like, it kind of sucks because you want to promote something, but in your heart you know that it's not going to do that great, and you know it's kind of like, I guess you could say, shovelware. But I mean, that's the nature of the business, right? There are games that people create and spend a lot of money on, and then there's lower budgets, but at the same time you kind of feel for the people, the team, because they put a lot of time and effort into it with the budget that they have. But at the same time, it's not an IP that will definitely rake in a lot of you know it's not something that's going to be talked about for many years to come. These are something they're like, oh, it's Christmas, let's spend, you got, it's on sale for $5 or something like that. Those are the things that kind of, that you start to learn more about E3 in terms of coverage, that things, covering things that you probably don't want to cover. The other aspect is the size of the company. I think if anything, Activision was possibly the best when it comes to media cover. I think also Capcom, they were pretty good, and Konami, but Activision, they really went out. They had food, drinks, everything for media. So it gets really tiring when you go to this event because there's only so many places you could sit, and a lot of people you'll find sitting on the on the floor. And I'm just like, there has to be something nearby. And I think this, the Call of Duty booth and the press, I mean, that company was really accommodating for press. Um, I think the best thing there, that also happened was, meeting up with a few friends who were, how the E3 process was of especially when it comes to G4 and X Play and their coverage and seeing that live. Saw Leo Laporte there, the tech guy, and with his crew. Also saw a few other friends, more so translators for various video games. But we did get quite a bit of interviews with a lot of with companies that dealt with Japanese culture. But the problem is that um, we can't even put it in the podcast. That's one of the things, is that it's embargoed, so it's gonna have to you're gonna have to wait months. I don't even know when if I'm ever gonna post it, because by the time I do, or get the go ahead, too much time has passed. So that's one of the things that we've noticed. But overall, it's it's a fascinating experience if you go there as a press. I did win a contest, which I won the Sims video game, which is pretty cool. But I think I think overall going. I think if you're going there as part of just a person that just wants to play video games, um, and just try it out for the first time, I think it's pretty cool. But for those in the press, it's actually a very tiring event. You stand a lot, you walk a lot, and your feet are gonna hurt. It's just how it is. There's only you're you're trying to make your whole day is planned out, scheduled out, and you're trying to make it to all these events. And sometimes when you just make it to these events, you're like, oh man, I hope there's something where I could sit, or something that is just, they have some water or something. But again, every booth is different. Um, Other things that I've noticed, parking's fine. There's a lot of parking at the area, in that whole area. Um, I think, again, if memory serves me right, the only, again, oh, this is the main one. If you are going to E3, especially now as it becomes very popular and everyone wants to go, um, you have to ask yourself, is it worth playing a video game to test it out and waiting in line for 6 hours. We've talked to people who wanted to try certain Nintendo games or certain Final Fantasy games, and they were waiting forever. But they didn't mind. It just seems like it was just normal for them that, oh, you know what, first come, first serve, and they're willing to wait to play a game that they could only put just 5 minutes. You could play only 5 minutes because they had to keep getting more people in to give it a try. And I think that's just for us. We tried games that were just easily available. They had booths where we could just walk up. And also the teams that were available for the video game companies, the PR teams, were very accommodating to press for giving us a chance to test out the certain games. I thought that was cool. But overall, I mean, we've covered the event more towards the pictorial side of it. And, there's a lot of booth babes. So if you are there part of the media, yeah, that's part of, you'll see a lot of that if you're looking for something to take photos. But we didn't focus mostly on that. We focused mainly on the games and interviews, and also, doing whatever we can to get photos of the booths and getting more information on video games. We were pretty much open because we were open season. We said, you know what? We've covered so many events. E3 we've covered, but this time we're gonna, do it a little bit more. We're gonna cover it in a way that we would cover any other event. And we're going to be very detailed. We're going to be very thorough. There's only just two of us. Usually we come in with the army, but this time it was just myself and Bangs. And again, we just tried to enjoy the game, not the game, but the event as much as we could for the last few days. And the only thing that sucks is just that you do get less swag. You do get some cool stuff. That's definitely a plus. So you do get some extras. Previous years, I heard people getting a lot of T-shirts. We didn't really see any, maybe one or two. I think if the big thing that we've seen a lot are in terms of merchandise is a lot of USB keychains. Like 2 megabyte keychains and stuff like that. I think World of Tanks or something like that. They gave this really cool press kit, and this other company, Nexon, was pretty cool as well. So, but yeah, that is E3. What you're going to hear now is our sound scene from E3 2011. Okay, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Of gameplay and compared to the previous Silent Hills, what can we expect from Downpour?
Well, you're not going to expect a console crash. That's very set.
This one's open right here if you want to play.
Yeah. So what you can expect is a really deep, multi-layered story. We really focused heavily on the character development this time around. We got an awesome writer, Tom Waltz, who did some of the past Silent Hill graphic novels. So he's got a little Silent Hill fan community all to his own, so we're really lucky bringing him on board. So we worked really closely with Tom and myself and Devin and Tom Hewlett, who's also been on the series a long time, to create a really in-depth story with multi-layered characters. You're going to want to play through this game several times, because even though we have multiple endings, and you're going to get those different endings depending on your actions in the game, but even when you get those endings, you're still going to want to go back and replay it, because not all the questions are totally answered answered nice and neatly for you.
So there's various endings. How many hours of gameplay do you?
Depending on, how deeply you go into it, because we have about 15 or so, actually maybe around 20 side quests that are completely optional. So depending on if you go and try to complete all the side quests, if you're a total completionist, there's also tons of lore for the character for you to find and add to Murphy's journal. It kind of keeps like a little Silent Hill scrapbook.
Okay.
So for you to find all of the lore objects and to experience all the side quests, I'm sure it's well over 12 hours easily.
And what connection is there to the previous series? Any characters or monsters, devil babies?
No, none of that. No Pyramid Head. That was like one of the first things that we definitely agreed upon.
Okay.
We wanted this to be a standalone story, right?
Okay, great.
This is Murphy's story. There's nothing in there about Alessa or the Order. I'll say that there's little hints in there, so that for like hardcore fans, if they're looking for stuff, they will find references to the overall lore. But this is totally Murphy's story. This has like nothing to do. You're not going to discover that he's like an orphan child from the Order or anything like that. It's definitely just, this is what happens when a person with a really shady past finds himself trapped in Silent Hill.
And how does the sound play in terms of enhancing the horror, that scary feeling that Silent Hill is known for?
Well, we've got two really good guys at the helm there. On the sound side, we have Nathan McCree, who's done a lot of work in the industry. He's got like 25 years of experience. He's worked on stuff like Tomb Raider, the original Tomb Raiders, and a bunch of other games. So Nathan's really sharp, and he totally understands the horror genre and how to create a really unnerving soundscape. And then on the musical side, we've got Daniel Licht, who did the Dexter soundtrack.
Oh, wow.
So from television's Dexter, he's an awesome composer. He plays a mean mandolin, so if you're looking for that kind of Akira sound, Daniel's definitely got a sound that's true to Silent Hill, but he's also totally put his own unique spin on it. So I don't think he was ever trying to like ape the previous games. He just wanted to make a sound that totally fit into it and felt Silent Hill. And I think if you look at the fan sites, everybody was all up in arms when they heard that Akira wasn't coming back. But as soon as they started hearing Daniel's stuff, all of that stopped.
Okay, and is there any difference between the PS3 version and the Xbox 360 version of the game?
Well, the PS3 version's got one exclusive, which you'll see running here, is the 3D support. So on the Sony PlayStation 3, we've got full support for 3D, so you can totally immerse yourself in the 3D.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
That's pretty different.
Yeah, it is.
And you can right click and it'll take you to
Are these working with the retail 3DS like this or something like that?
Yes.
They can look at it, glare from the light.
Oh, it blacked out something.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Go back to X.
Wow.
I still want to
Okay.
yesterday. It's like,
Yeah, you can have fun. There are a few different ones. You want to have one of each of them.
Connect to the internet, but that's what I should say okay too. And it totally runs.
We're going to be here today until about 6. Your opportunity to compete in this competition goes until 5, and at 5:30 we will announce our winners. The top 2 scoring people here will walk out with some prizes. A custom-built Origin laptop complete with a hand-painted World of Tanks.
So you can do beatdown. This is a pretty easy way to get it down. So I'll just show you real quick what you do, and then you can take over.
Oh, so you choose your special moves.
No, you don't choose special moves. You choose all the physical stuff, and then you're learning hooks.
I see.
So you're basically his protege.
I see. Who's the boss that you play in the end? Oh, do they know?
I don't want to ruin anything.
Okay.
Well, you start out like in a backyard arena, then you go to like the firehouses and little arena, then you end up in the huge open area. So this beatdown is like a punch, like a headbutt, like a knee. Give it a try. So he's going great. And then you can pick here, pick with both legs, and then you can elbow drop him. Just give him a little elbow. There you go. Okay. Fair enough.
Are there any other characters that are licensed or just Hulk Hogan?
Really, the focus of this that it's kind of like your journey to become the next.
Oh, okay.
So it's not really like about.
So it's like a Super Punch Out, but with wrestling.
Our inspiration was kind of Punch Out and like learning the ropes from the mentor.
I see. Okay.
And the art style is kind of a Punch Out meets Team Fortress.
Okay.
Exaggerated. We didn't want to be too serious because it's a connect game. So you want to be fun and arcade-like and easy to get in. Oh, you're so close. There you go. Nice. Because I mean, he just got in right away and was able to play it breezy. And there's pictures of you doing your knees and your.
Cool.
Shapes. It's very much a Connect title. It can't be really implemented on any other platform. All the modes have single player and all the modes have co-op. What we're going to show you first is we're going to show you a mode called All Fall Down, single player. His goal here is twofold. One is to quickly fill objects on the bottom and bring shapes down. There's a bomb though in the playfield and he really wants to try to get to that bomb because if he gets to the bomb it will explode and take out a lot of the shapes for him.
So are you trying to fit the contour of his shape towards the block?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the more you can get inside the shape, the more points you'll get. I mean, you can get the shapes overfilling a little bit, but you don't get as high of a score.
Okay, the stars mean?
Stars are extra, are bonuses. So,
okay.
So like if you'll see it has a counter, the quicker you get it to within that counter, the more stars you get for hitting that star.
I see.
And I think you just got the bomb while I was looking away. And the bomb blows up and takes out shapes around it.
Oh, so the bomb is good.
Yeah, the bomb is good in this context. And there's other things where there'll be team modes where, like, one team will be going after blue blocks, one team will be going after red blocks, so you're only going to get your block.
Now, what is bad? How do you lose?
This game is really, except with the context of being when you're playing in team modes, in single player, there really isn't losing. There's doing better or doing not so well. There's not a lose situation. Now, once you divide up into teams, it's all about getting the highest score. What we're going to show you next, I'm actually going to dive in. I'll dive in. We're going to do a mode that kind of really shows why the game is a great party game for families or friends to get together. Okay. We're going to do Shape Frenzy, but we're going to do co-op. Okay. The two of us are going to work together to fill shapes.
Okay.
Oh, this will be easy. Uh-oh, this is not an I'm not getting my star.
Yeah, there's this little bonus stars you want to try to get for extra points.
Hi, Matt. How's it going?
You know, it's always fun watching you play this game. I gotta say, it never gets old for me.
I don't know.
You make such petite and delicate poses.
There's a couple of shapes in here that are just really. Oh, this is easy. This is you just kind of divide.
So, Camping Mama is a little bit of a departure from the traditional Mama style of games.
Okay.
Now, you do have tons of mini games in there. Cooking, there are some cooking mini games, crafting mini games. There's a little bit of gardening in there. So, there's the traditional mini game style that we're used to from the Cooking Mama franchise. But the big difference is Camping Mama stars Mama, Papa, and their son and daughter, Ringo and Ichigo. And when you start the game, the player can choose whether they want to play as the girl character or the boy character. We find that we have a lot of boys that play the game, so we want to make sure that we gave them an option. Yeah. And here, just the way you play the normal Cooking Mama games, all the mini game selection, over 100 mini games.
Oh wow!
And then on top of that, this is all new to the Mama franchise. It's top-down exploring, similar to Pokemon type. So what I'll do is I'll go to this area of the map, and Mama's going to give me a task or a chore. She's going to say, please get me 4 buckets of water so I can start making dinner. And then you have to explore the map, find buckets of water, and while you're exploring, you're going to move some grass. Oh, I just got hit by a monkey. You got to watch out for monkeys.
The monkeys are bad.
Monkeys and camping, hand in hand. I'll tell you right now. So since I hit the monkey, I have to play a little mini game.
I see. So when you hit these monkeys, they initiate the minigame.
Exactly. So there's monkeys, rabbits, all insects, bees, snakes. You want to avoid whatever's wild boars. You want to avoid whatever animal is on the map at that time. Otherwise, it may trigger a minigame. If you play the minigame successfully, they won't be in your way anymore, and you can walk freely by them.
Now, when does this game come out?
This is actually September. Okay. And it's about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay. It's longer than the traditional Mama games.
Okay.
But we're really, really happy with it. It has all the flavor of the Mama games, doing the mini games, chopping wood, crafting things. Again, that's when you're exploring, you may find a twig. You can take that twig, turn it in, craft it into a fishing pole. Then you would go fishing with the fishing pole, catch a fish, bring the fish back to the campsite, and cook it up for dinner.
Okay.
It's all about exploring and finding neat new stuff, collecting insects, collecting fossils, and all sorts of things.
Okay, everyone, you take care, and I'll see you later. Wink, wink, and
Follow the J. ラジオポッドキャスト on YouTube and also visit Kennedy on YouTube. For Japanese entertainment news, please visit neotok2099.com. See you next time. Bye bye.
いいパンチだったぜ。